Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming in and joining me tonight. Hello, Miss Kathy. Hello, Susan. Thank you for joining me tonight. No, it's different for me to pop live, but I thought, what the heck? I've been talking about doing this for a while now, and I haven't gotten to it. So I thought, well, there's no better time than the present time. So I thought I'd come on and do a little spinning with you guys, see how your weekend went, see if you got any fun plans for the upcoming week, things like that. And I just finished a new spin, so I thought I would show you that. Actually, I've finished a couple of them since the last time I seen you guys. Hello, Miss Denise, Miss Stephanie, wonderful to see you. Celestial Rogue, hello, how are you? Miss Karen, thank you for coming in tonight. Wonderful to see you guys. Ooh. I did a bit of spinning this last week, and I finished a couple hanks. Well, actually, I've finished quite a few hanks in the last week. A couple of those went off to another friend here on YouTube. I'm sure you will see that when she receives it. And while I was dying for her, I did a little bit of experimenting. The experiment went horribly wrong. It didn't do anything near like I was hoping it would do, but the results were absolutely phenomenal, if I don't say so myself. Hello, Miss Deanne and Angela. Stephanie, how are you? So my experiment was I was trying to make gray with using the food safe dyes. Most of the blacks are a combination of a bunch of colors. So unfortunately, getting gray has been really, really hard. Getting black has been really, really hard. But I threw some different blacks all together, put them in a pot, and I put the fiber in the pot. The result while in the pot was absolutely gorgeous. It was a beautiful silvery tone of gray, and I absolutely loved it. Took forever and ever and ever, and then finally it looked like the color had cleared in the water. I pulled the fiber out of the water, and all of the color stayed in the pot. Nothing remained on the fiber itself. So obviously, I had to try again. So I threw some more color into the pot, and the result was a very dark teal shades of blue, a few pinks, and some very dark, very, very dark burgundies. And I spun that up, and this is what we got. Now, this camera isn't going to do this true justice because I'm on my laptop, and the camera on here is just not as good as my phone. But I have just posted a picture of this on my Facebook page if you would like to see it in its more brilliance, or I will post a picture later on my community tab. This is a 2-ply, and it's, I think I measured it or weighed it out at 2.5 ounces. Look how thin. It's under a 2 weight. It's about a 1 weight, a 1 weight yarn. Very, very proud of that. That is the thinnest I have gotten so far, where it stayed consistent. Young lady, that's enough. Sorry about her. And hello to everybody that has snuck in while I was jacking my jaw. The mini I got from that was right here. When I split the fiber, I didn't split it evenly, so one bobbin got more than the other. But I thought that turned out really pretty. And then this one here, if you guys remember seeing the fiber that was the very shocking blues with the very shocking pinks and some white tones that I had dyed in the braid. Well, as you can see, it turned to a much more purple toned yarn. That is the mixing of the pinks and the blues together as it spun. I think that turned out really pretty as well. And here's our itty bitty mini for that one as well. What's everybody working on tonight? This is the fiber I am doing up. I get a fiber of the month club because I can experience different fibers through that club. And this month, the beginning of the month, they sent me this color, which was fine. I spun it up and it's already at its new home. But then at the end of or last month, I mean, in January, but then beginning of February, they sent me the same color again, which they don't usually do. So I'm not sure what happened there, but there was a debacle with my debit card last month and I had to change it and whatnot. So that might have changed something in their system. I don't know. I ain't complaining because it's Rambouillet and I absolutely love the fiber. It's wonderful to spin. It's beautiful to touch. It's like playing with a cloud. It's so fluffy and soft. Oh, fun, Stephanie. What kind of amigurumi are you making? Are you doing any of the Impkins with Sam and Amanda? I need to get one made. I've got the book. I just haven't had the time yet. Thank you, Miss Karen. Thank you very, very much. Oh, goodness. I didn't know if this would be a good night to come on or not, but I figured, the boys is busy watching football. The ladies might want to do some crafting if they're not interested in football. So I thought maybe I'd come on and we could craft together for a while. Oh, that sounds awesome, Vicki. I've been trying to think about what I might do for the monochromatic make along, but I'm not sure I'm going to have the time. Although I might be able to put it in with the mail that I'm doing right now, which if you haven't heard about that, I'm doing a make along that is a little bit different. Yes, that's more than fine. I am always willing to talk to anybody about any of the crafts that I do, or even if I don't do them, I might be able to find an answer or something like that. But I'm willing to talk to a fellow crafter about crafting any day of the week, that's for sure. Oh, that's awesome. Miss Vicky. But sorry about that. I lost my train of thought. The make along that is currently going on for this channel is I did it my way, which I mean by that is, of course, that you do it your own way, such as making your own pattern or seriously altering someone else's pattern to, as it says, make it your own way. The reason I was doing this is I wanted something to do that my fellow spinners could do with me, but I'm a multi-crafter, so I did not want to leave out my other crafty friends as well. And I thought, what a better way to promote self-confidence than to help people to realize that they have the ability of uh, taking and doing things their own way, and it can turn out just as wonderful as a well-known designer can do. Hello, Miss Pam. How are you tonight? Thank you for coming by. Hello, Crystal. Thank you for joining tonight. That's one of my amazing spinning friends. She makes some gorgeous things. If you don't know Miss Crystal, Hook That Yarn, you should definitely give her a peek. She makes some really beautiful things. And she even made her own spinning wheel, which is absolutely phenomenal. I only went as far as making my own drop spindle. After that, I was like, ooh, I need an expert. Get down, young lady. Well, I hope you enjoy the Super Bowl, Miss Pam. Yeah, Miss Crystal is a very talented lady. I have been uh, peeking in on her. I lurk quite a bit on most channels that I watch, but I love going over and seeing what she's getting up to over there. And I believe for Miss Lisa, it's what, Monday now, or very, very early morning. What I'm doing here is stripping my my fiber down into smaller pieces so that I can just spin piece by piece. Oh, it's a good bit into the day already. Oh. If you don't know Miss Lisa too, she is doing Lisa's Knit Race, which Miss Lisa crafts for charity, which is completely awesome to take your time and your talent to do for others. And right now, she is knitting baby hats and trying to see how many she can get done in a week. And I think at last time I seen her video, she was like at 13, which is just amazing. You know, knitting is nowhere near as quick as crochet, but she whips those things out like nobody's business. Oh, I don't have Nightbot. I'm sorry. I'm still new with this whole going live and all that kind of stuff. I'm not even sure if I have a moderator in the room. I know Miss Soila is a moderator, but I haven't seen her yet, and I don't remember who else is. Let's see. Yeah, this little corner of YouTube is very big but very small at the same time. It seems like, pretty much the same group of people throughout the lives, which is, really nice. You get to know a group of people and get to be friends with them and enjoy what they're doing. Hello, Miss Barb. How are you tonight? Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up my own live so I can make a mod. Well, I'll ask first. Would anybody be willing to help me out and be mod for the night? If not, that's completely fine. I'm not gonna force you, of course, because I know we're trying to craft. We're not trying to work. But thank you very much. I got you there. Blanking on your name, Yarny Cat. I know your name, but it's. I'm sorry, sweetheart. My memory is extremely horrendous since the heart attack. So if it's not right in front of me. Hello, Miss Cricket. Welcome in. That's right. I'm so sorry, Miss Patricia. Oh no, that's fine, Miss Vicky. I'm the world's worst mod. I'm a mod in a couple places because I don't know, they made me a mod, but I have no idea what I'm doing. And usually I don't sit down long enough to actually see an entire live. I'm usually in there, but doing other things and bopping around and crafting. I don't sit still very well, but I do enjoy uh, supporting my friends as much as I possibly can. Okay, I am going to set this camera up. Oh, them sun bunnies are so cute. I actually have one. Missy sent me one way back in the beginning when she first stepped out on the scene. Hello, my beautiful friend Ray. How are you tonight? Okay, let's see. Trying to set this camera up so that you guys can actually see me spinning. Oh, goodness. I am really, really rotten at technology. There we go. Is that okay? Is there an echo? Nope. Sorry, guys. I hope that's better. Okay. Oh, oh, why is it doing that? Can you hear me? Is it echoing now? I'm sorry, guys. I know I just blasted your ears out. Okay. This technology stuff is hard. I think it, yeah, it's last time I learned that you had to mute the computer and use the phone. If you guys have not seen my wheel video, this is my Ashford Joy 2. She is just about a year old now. I can't do that. Ray, could you do me a big favor, honey? Would it be possible for you to grab the link for the StreamYard and drop that for me? And that way, if anybody wants to come up and say hello, they're more than welcome to. I will just have to see your face before I let you up on the screen. But if anybody wants to come up and craft with me for a little while or say hi or anything like that, you're more than welcome to join me up and have a little craft and chat. Oh, that would be awesome. I could make you a couple bags with it if you wanted. I wouldn't feel right just taking it from you. Yeah, I dropped it in the group. If you wouldn't mind grabbing that for me and dropping it in the chat, that would be really wonderful. Well, I know, but you know, I'm just that way. Ask Ray; she'll tell you. Of course, Ray's that way too. She's she's much better at giving than receiving, which is not a bad thing. I get her every once in a while, but then again, she turns around and gets me right back. I think that's been the absolute best thing about this YouTube journey is meeting wonderful people and, you know, getting to know other crafters that enjoy all the crazy things I enjoy. Well, thank you very much. I'm sure I'll make loads of beautiful things with it. I love making the bags. I love even more when I make a bag, though, that I know has a home. I enjoy making the bags for stock, but when I know a bag is that that person is really anticipating getting their bag, that just makes the joy of making it for me 100-fold. And I don't ever need a video from my YouTube friends, but I really do enjoy watching their faces light up. Like Moose Mike, when he opened his bag, I seen that video this weekend, and the smile on his face was just absolutely priceless. And Sam as well. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, I am referring to Mantha's make Sam, her other half Mike. He ordered a Dragon Ball Z, I think they are. I don't know. I didn't know what it was until he ordered the bag. So when I was doing searches online, I had to kind of guess as to if that was actually um, what I was looking at or if they just called it that. Because when it comes to the Pokemons and the Dungeons and Dragons and the Dragon Balls and all that kind of stuff, I completely missed all of it. I have no clue what most of them are, and I'm quite happy with it. The first lot of this that I spun, uh, Jill, the fiber floozy, now has that yarn, and I named it for her. And the name that I chose was a lady and a floozy, which was very fitting for her channel name, but also very fitting, I found, because, or I found out because Miss Jill is a big time fan of Lady in the Tramp. So when she read the name of her yarn, she got a great big smile on her face and giggled, which made my heart dance with joy because that is the very best part of making for other people is the joy it brings to them when they see what you've made for them. Hello, Miss Sandy. Welcome in. We have another Aussie in the house. I've always wanted to visit Australia. Always, always, always. Oh, here we go. Hello, hello. How are you?
Hello. Hello. I'm doing okay. I was trying something. Yeah, there is. There's a little bit. What it is earlier today I was on live with Connie,
Mm-hmm.
Stitch in Time, And I noticed when I was watching the replay that everything I said and did was kind of like on a, what do they call that, a delay. I would say it on the screen and then I would hear it a few seconds later. So I thought I'd come up and join you and try this on my phone and see how it works. See if it's any better.
I think YouTube glitches like that sometimes, and so do the stream yards and that. I noticed that a lot with that. The other streaming one that they use,
Nightbot.
no, it's that other,
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. It starts with an R.
yeah,
Yeah,
some
Restream.
Restream or something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
That one's really bad for the video and the
Yeah.
audio to be
So
disconnected.
yes, I thought come up and join with you and while I'm crafting because I said my ducky was all done, and then I was looking at it and I thought something's missing. I couldn't figure it. It's my wings. I forgot to add my wings. So just to give you a little idea of what it's looking like, it is. It looks like this.
Oh, that is so cute.
Yeah, we're gonna have one pop of color. So the pop of color is its beak, and then the body's white, and then I'm gonna have black wings and black feet.
That is adorable.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've been making my daughter is planning on going on a cruise. It's a family cruise that they're going on later this year, September. And so they were trying to make it like a theme, something that the family could do, because I have some nieces and nephews and sisters that are all going. And me and my youngest daughter's going to stay here and take care of the animals in the house. But she asked me if I could crochet ducks. And so I started making these little duckies up and making them into keychains. And so as I go along, I got tired of just making, ducks in orange stuff. So I decided to expand out and do some different colors with them.
That is
So
awesome.
I thought this would be a nice way of incorporating what she wanted and what Mama G was talking about all at the same time.
Right? And there's no rule that the duckies have to be all, the same color because, I mean,
But I
shoot,
think,
just outside,
yeah,
I have an all white duck. I have a white and brown duck. I have a speckled duck. I have a duck with a green head.
yeah, and the thing of it is I was thinking about it. I thought if everybody on the boat had the same color ducky, that would get boring. And this way, each one would have their own unique little creature. Because what they're going to do is they're going to hide them around the
Hmm.
ship. And as people would walk by, if they saw one, then they could pick it up, and it was theirs to keep. So yeah, they got the idea when they went to Graceland because when they went to Graceland last year, they had a Sisters Day and they all went to Graceland. And I was just looking around, some of my daughter, my oldest daughter, she started noticing these little tiny ducks. I mean, I bet they are just quarter of an inch high, sitting around. And so she asked the tour guide about it. And the tour guide kind of looked at her and said, "Well, this is your lucky day because a lot of people don't notice those. And those are something they hid for those that were the most observant could find. And then it was theirs. It was like their little extra treat."
Oh, that's really neat.
Yeah, and so that's why they got the idea to do it. And they're planning on doing it this or the September coming in when they go on their cruise. So anyway, I'm sitting here working on this, and I thought I'd come up and join you and work on my little ducky's wings.
Well, that's awesome. It's nice that, even though you don't get to participate in the fun trip part of it, you still get to be, part of their fun memories,
Yeah, and
from the trip.
yeah, that's the way I was looking at it. Is that way I can join in this way.
Yeah. And you can make
Yeah.
a perfect stranger have a smile, even for just a few seconds,
Yes. And
you
it's
know.
something that they can keep because I want to put keychains on. I have a whole slew of them that's made into keychains. So it's something that it's like a little memento they can carry with them, and they can either put it on their keychain or they can put it on a bag. Whatever they want to do with it.
Right?
So
That's
anyway,
good.
I will let you get back to talking about what you were talking about.
I never know what to say. I just, it's like when I make a video, I turn it on and turn the camera on, and my brain goes out the window.
I know what you mean. It's the same way with me. I lost my needle.
That happens a lot here too.
Yeah. Gotta go get me another one. That's why I'm hiding it. I'm hiding down here. Gotta go get me another needle. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I was mentioning earlier, I did a live with Connie today on her stitch. Stitching. Oh, I can't even think of her name now. But that was the first time I'd ever done a live with somebody. I mean, I kind of hopped in like I did with you tonight. I kind of hopped in on one once before, back when I was first beginning. And afterwards, I felt so self-conscious about doing that. And I thought, if I'm going to do this, I need to get comfortable doing it. So Connie invited me to do a live with her. I thought, yeah, great, this would be awesome. But I found myself doing all these little weird things like sitting real still, looking at the camera, trying to figure out what's the best place to put my head for my light situation. So I thought, I'm just going to sit here and work. That's what you said we're going to do anyway. So that's what I'm going to sit here and do. I'm just going to sit here and work. Hi, Marissa. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Susan. I think I saw some of those octopus keychains. Those are really cute. I think it might have been you. What? Oh, Yuri Cat. Yeah, no. I can't think of her name now. I saw somebody. I was watching somebody's video today that was making little octopuses that I thought were so adorable. So anyway, yeah. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, the little octopus are so much fun.
Yeah, sitting here looking at my camera. I have my phone, my computer over here, my camera over here. So I can see the chat on my computer. I like this setup. I should have thought of this sooner. Okay. Anyway, so here we are.
He wants to know if they were purple.
Yes, they were. Were those yours? I was thinking it was. I was thinking it was Yarny Cat. That I saw the little purple octopuses that you're like, or octopi that were you making, and the pattern came from our little softies lady. She says she's just some cute amigurumis, really cute. That's what I thought. So hello. So anyway, yeah, I'm sitting here in my comfortable t-shirt now too, so I'm not in the...
Susan wants to know how many duckies you plan on making.
Well, so far I've gotten about 8 made, and I want to do at least 12. The thing of it is I can whip these up. I can make one a day. One time it took me a couple 2 or 3 days to make them, but since making them my own and kind of figuring out my own pattern for the feet and figuring out how to do all this, I've gotten better at it and gotten faster. So now I've gotten to where I can whip up a ducky in a day. So even if I postponed it to the last month, I would still be able to whip up a good 8 or 9 of them in a week.
Oh.
What? That's my daughter Adriana.
Mm-hmm. Oh, beautiful name.
Thank you. Yeah, she's the one that's Down syndrome. She's sitting over there on her laptop watching her hospital show. But every once in a while she'll pop up with a hi, I love you. Oh. Sometimes it's meant for me, sometimes it's meant for whoever I'm talking to. Because I do a lot of Zoom too. Yes. She, being Down syndrome, she's very affectionate. I mean, most Down syndrome kids are affectionate, and it's just one of her characteristics. She likes to tell people hi. She likes to be included. But I think all kids are like that.
Oh, yeah.
She's my 30-year-old kid. Actually, I think she's
Yeah.
30. She's 32 now. She's actually 32. It's okay. It is what it is. We've learned to live with it.
That's right.
And
My
it's about,
oldest is autistic,
oh,
so
oh,
you know,
I'm sorry, say that again.
my oldest is autistic.
Oh, okay. You know what I mean. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of funny because earlier I was entering a contest and from Crochet Rocks. Tracy, she had a contest going and she was asking, oh, and Crazy Crystal Chicken Crazy Cat Lady. I'll just call her that. Both of them were asking, what are your plans for Valentine's Day? And we don't celebrate Valentine's Day. So I put that in there. I said, well, we don't celebrate Valentine's Day. I said, plus, besides, I hear I love you every day from her. What could you ask for?
That's right. There's nothing better than a child's love,
Yeah.
especially, and I think that's even more so in a child with special needs. Their love is so pure.
Well, it's unconditional. It's not based on are you going to give me that this or are you going to give me that kind of thing or I hate you right now. That's one thing I've never heard from her. Now I did hear from my teenagers every now and then when they were teenagers. Was I hate you, mom?
Well, you must have been
Yeah,
doing a good job then, because
they
that's when
turned
they say it.
they turned out pretty good, so I think so. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that sound like. Oh yeah,
Hello, Mara.
looking. Oh
Thank you
hi,
for coming
Laura.
by.
Yeah, I forgot to look at the chat. But hi, yeah, hi, Mara. Thank you. Nice to. I'm hopefully that I see a lot of you. Like I see Mara in her lives, and
Hmm.
I've seen Dirty Cat Crochet. See who else I've seen that's done things. I've seen Maritza in one or two, not very much, but I don't know if I've seen Crystal yet or not. I know I have not seen Aussie Sandy yet. I need to go over there and check out your channel, honey. I want to see who I'm talking to. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't. That comes from me being a nurse. I used to call everybody honey or sweetie, and I find myself still saying that, and I know some people don't like it.
Well, if they don't like that, they're really on the wrong channel because everyone's sweetheart, honey, darling.
Yeah, that's the way. And that's the funny thing about it is that's not just what I say, but that's how I think about a lot of especially my Yarny family friends. I think of them as my family, my Yarny family.
Yeah.
So my
I've
Yarny.
I've gained some wonderful sisters and wonderful friends through this channel.
Yeah. There's some that I really want to meet because like Nicole, fibromyalgia Nicole, she lives on one side of me, uh, about I think about 75, 80 miles. And so I keep hoping that one of these days I meet her at Walmart or something. But then on the other side of Oklahoma City, I have Missy's crochet items. I have
Hmm.
her. And so I keep thinking, maybe one of these days I'll see Missy in downtown Oklahoma City. But she lives about 100 miles from me. So, it's just one of the things that you kind of look for. Like when I'm walking through Walmart, I'll look at people's faces and I'll think, does she crochet? Does she not crochet? Who do I know? Who can I meet? Who can I talk to? Kind of thing. Yeah. But one of these days I might. Until then, I'll just have been dreaming about it.
Right, or you can have the situation I had. I got to meet a subscriber. I was just incredibly
I,
socially awkward about the situation, and
I remember that. Yeah. No, I didn't
I
meet a
wish I wouldn't have been because I would have, man, I would love to have somebody local that I could just hang out with now and again.
Mm-hmm.
The
And
fact
now
is, I'm an awkward
that
person.
is one of the things that did happen to me when I was at Walmart this last time. because they were having some sales going on, and I was really, really wanting to get me some. Um, oh goodness, I think they were mandala yarns that they were getting rid of, and they had names like Hercules and Frodo and a few others. And I found one Hercules, but I was looking for some of the others. So I was sitting there going through all these yarns, trying to find one that was on sale because everything else was like $5, and they were on sale for like $3 for a roll. And so I thought, man, I want more of these, and I could only find the one. But while I was there, this gentleman came up to me with this young girl, and he said, "What kind of yarn would you recommend for a starter?" And so I got all excited. I got to talk to somebody about yarn. So we had a nice little conversation because apparently he was trying to help his daughter to learn how to crochet. So he was looking for some yarn and some crochet hooks. So he was asking for recommendations, and it was just so nice. I'm glad I'm not the only one, Mara. Aw, yep. It's just a me thing. I agree, Sandy. Yep. Oh goodness gracious. Boat. Yep. I can. I can
I
handle
can't
that too.
say who, but one of our Yarny sisters is about to become one of our new Yarny spinning sisters.
Oh goodness gracious! You know what? I think was you might have mentioned that on one of your other posts, or somebody might have said something about it. But I do remember hearing someone talking about learning how to become a spinner. And so she was asking you for I think she was asking you for advice. I can't remember for
Well,
sure. But
Miss Lala wants me to do some tutorials, and I think this book that Sam got me for my birthday is really going to help me feel more comfortable in doing that because there's a good base knowledge in that book. Not,
Malfa Sam, or how you say it? Mantha?
yeah, Mampa's Makes.
Memphis. Yeah, Memphis. Yeah.
Well, I can't divulge someone else's business that hasn't put it out there yet. But one of
Yeah.
our Yarny sisters has recently purchased a wheel, and she was telling me about it. I got so excited.
Yeah, isn't that so fun? I know. Yeah. And I know what you mean about mentioning names. That's what I'm saying. I remember hearing somebody talking about it on one of their, I don't know if it was a live or it was just something they were like doing an update kind of thing. But I remember somebody mentioning it. And so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what becomes of that.
Me too. I get so excited when people, take interest in learning something new. I mean, not that
Hmm.
it isn't wonderful to be dedicated in a craft and master that craft in its entirety. That is a phenomenal thing to do. But it's excited to have someone that you can talk crochet with, but then you're a spinner and you can also talk spinning with them.
Yes.
Because, unfortunately, most of the spinning terms, a person that does not do that looks at you and goes, huh?
What was that word again? I didn't
I just
understand.
got a new drop spindle. I actually have not even shown it yet.
You know, that is something that I saw, and I don't remember if it was you that introduced us to it whenever you doing your little introduction to your other little ladies, or whether it was somebody else that I saw that got one. But I thought that looked amazing. I thought I want to learn how to do that. So
So
that kind of got
this
me
is
excited.
this is the one Jude got me. This is a Turkish style drop spindle. And it makes a
Oh,
center pull ball as you're spinning your yarn.
oh wow.
And then recently I got this one, which is actually handcrafted by a craftsman.
I have
right
not
in
seen that
Lexington,
one.
South Carolina, which is literally not a spoon's throw away from me.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think it is a husband and wife team. I think the wife is the spinner from the pictures I'm seeing. Either that or he had someone with very pretty hands, long, pretty fingernails, and a female's ring on,
That looks
do
like a
some
woman.
modeling for him. One of the two.
Yeah.
So I sent them a message. I haven't heard anything back yet, but I'm hoping maybe I'll be able to go over and see what they have going on in their workshop and maybe get to check out more crafty spinning fun tools that he makes over there. I'm thinking that would be really cool and fun to do for the channel.
It would be. That would be very cool.
Hello, Miss Brenda.
Hi, Bears Crochet. And yep, and Brenda.
You know what's funny, Miss Denise, is the spindle made absolutely no sense to me
The what?
in practice until I
Oh,
got the wheel. The spindle helped me understand the drafting, but I did not enjoy actually working with the spindle until after I got the wheel and got that I want to make yarn out of my system.
okay. No, I
Now,
had a
when I'm spinning with my spindle, like at a doctor's appointment or, the hubby's in, surgery again or whatever, and I'm
Now,
using my
is that the
spindle.
one that hangs that you can hold up from
Yep,
your wrist and it hangs out? Oh, okay.
yep.
Okay, because
And
sometimes I don't know when you're referring to like the wheel. Is that the big one that you can sit down and spin?
yep, that's actually this one right here that you're seeing on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then, well, I have three wheels in here actually. I have two Ashford wheels. I have this one here, which is my Ashford Joy, and it's a double treadle wheel where I use both feet to keep the wheel going. And then
Okay.
I have an Ashford Traveler, and it's only got just the one treadle. Does the exact same thing.
Oh,
It just only takes 1 foot to operate it. Although this wheel here is literally so well balanced that I can spin with just the 1 foot if I really want to.
oh, that is so cool. You know, the
Yeah.
funny thing is I became interested in actually spinning wool from some kids' fairy tales.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fairy tale of when the girl is sitting in there spinning straw into gold and Sleeping Beauty. And so I see those spinning wheels, and that's so whenever I think of spinning, that's what I think of. And I've always thought those look so cool. And uh, I'm a musical kind of person, so whenever I saw those, I was also thinking of the harp, the way the harp, rolls like this. And so I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking you might that's how you spun too. And so that's why I was always interested in learning. Is that really the way you do it, or is that something else? Or is it just me making up things?
It's actually a lot easier to do than you actually think about because when I'm spinning, the wheel's going round and round and round. And the same
Mm-hmm.
thing if you're doing a drop spindle or if you're using the wheel.
Yeah,
It's going around
it's
and around and around. It's adding twist to the fiber. Now, when you're making your yarn, all you have to do is make a light motion and keep pulling your fiber forward.
oh,
On
okay.
the wheel takes care of the rest of it. You just keep pulling forward and you don't allow the spin, which would be in here, to get into your fiber here. So you
Oh,
just hold on,
cool.
you just pull forward, pull forward, pull forward, and you just move your fingers back and forth. You don't pinch your yarn, your fiber, but you
Okay.
grab it. You just
Oh,
grasp
wow.
it. It's a very gentle
Uh, pull.
pull.
Tension. There we go. Very,
And
yeah.
so you don't want your wheel to yank your fiber because, of course, then it breaks. So you
Yeah.
have to control your speed with your feet.
And your
And, where
tension.
you set your wheel up will affect that as well.
Oh, wow.
But literally, once you learn how to do this the right way and how much, because obviously, if you pull this much out, it's going to be way thicker than if you pull just a little bit out.
Is that why people they get what they call roving yarn? Is because on some places it's thicker than others, or because I noticed that when I'm
Mm-hmm.
crocheting it, it's thicker
Yep.
in places than others. Huh.
Yeah, it's just because they allowed more fiber in one area than they did in another.
Hmm.
And
I,
sometimes we do that on purpose, and sometimes it's just the nature of the beast. It happens.
yeah.
Unless you are extremely meticulous, in which some of my friends are, and that is not cutting on them whatsoever because their product is divine when they are done. I am not that
Yeah.
meticulous. If a little lump gets by me, oh well. If I spun a little bit thicker in this area and then realized what I was doing and went back a little thinner, oh well. I try to
Yeah.
stay in a zone, but as long as I stay in that area, it's good enough for me. I believe that a human is not, capable of perfection. I
Hmm.
strive to be the best that I can be, but I am never ever going to be perfect, so I do not ever demand that of myself.
Yeah. I understand that. Yeah. Okay. Like I got my ducky made. There we go. My ducky made. Oop, there we go. But yeah. So yeah, I know what you mean. Because even like with this, these little things. Sometimes I make one ring bigger than the other ring, or 1 foot bigger than the other foot. And it's not that I intend to do it; it just kind of happens, you know.
Yeah.
Just makes it that much more unique.
Well, Miss Eve, I surely hope that you get a chance to do that and that you love spinning as much as I do. And thank you for listening,
Yeah.
Charlie. I'm sorry that you have to be stuck at work tonight.
Oh goodness. And
I
so let's
mean,
see.
even if something like as important as my wedding dress, I can tell you there is at least 5 mistakes in it. At least.
But we probably wouldn't know that. Only you, because you're the one that made it.
That's right. And I could have gone back and I could have fixed it, but nobody's gonna know but me.
Yeah,
So
that's the way. Yeah.
why? You know.
Okay. Yeah. So let's see here. Who came in that I haven't? Bixby Legend. That's a new person I haven't seen before.
You might actually have seen her before as Have a Yarn with Charlie.
Oh, okay.
That's our
Um,
Charlie. She just changed her
who changed her
her
name?
channel name because she now has a website and like myself is doing a lot of
Oh,
sewing. She makes the
wow.
cutest scrappy bags and she makes scrunchies. And this might be a good one for your folks that are going on the cruise. These scrunchies that she makes have a zipper in them that you can put some money in the scrunchie and put it in your hair. And that way,
Ooh,
if someone comes up and, hey, give me your wallet, you don't have no money on you. It's in your scrunchie and they ain't going to think a thing,
that
with
is
it.
a cool
And
idea.
so yeah, she has some real, and she's got like little wrist type wallet thingies, and she does a lot of really, really cool stuff over
Yeah,
there.
the crochet scrunchie idea. That is, I mean, because it's made out of material, so they can't even see inside of it what's in there. That's a cool idea.
Yeah,
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 I do.
she.
I sew also, but I haven't sewn except for just little things in a long time. Mainly, what I've been sewing lately is helping my daughter make t-shirts. Because when they go to concerts, they pop out their crank up machine and put all these decals and stuff on the t-shirts so
Okay.
what they stand out. So we did a little bit of that too, but mainly that's just for family stuff. I haven't done any sewing on a professional basis for in a many year. So
it was real funny. Charlie had bought herself a really nice sewing machine, a brother embroidery machine,
yes,
and
another.
She left it sitting in the box for over a year.
Are you serious, man?
Started looking at her. I told her,
I
take that
would-
thing out of the box.
It was years ago when I got finally when we lived in Washington that my daughter decided that she wanted to get it back into sewing again. She wanted to sew some stuff with the kids, and so have a sewing machine because when somebody rips their clothes or needs something hemmed up, they always say, "Mom or Grandma, fix this for me," kind of thing. And so she got this sewing machine, and it does these really cool embroidery. And so we set it all up, and so I had fun playing with it. I had fun playing with the different uh, stitches because it did the embroidery stitch, and some of them are really intricate and really neat. And so that's the first thing I want to do is play with it. And now it sits out in the shed, in the she shed. So when we get moved to crafts, we go out there and do that kind of stuff. So I might have to say yes. Hang on just a second. That's the oodles to my caboodles. Give me a
Night,
moment.
Ray. Give the kiddos hugs for me.
Huh?
I said hello. I'm on the other side of a door.
I know, but the thing of it is I'm sitting right in front of the TV. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm just visiting with Bridget and a few. Give me a second here. You get to see me up close and personal. That's how small this area is. There we go. Get back there.
Get back here.
Get back here.
I'm right back here.
Scooch over a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
Bend your head down and say hi.
Hi.
That's the.
Hello.
There we go. Oh, I'm in her way. There we go. That's Emberlyn. She's the one that does the little ceramic and the polymer clay jewelry and earrings and things that you've seen.
I move back over here now.
Yes, you can move back over here now.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do you have an inhaler?
Yes. What kind? Just a regular one?
Just a regular
We get to meet all the celebrities tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm being more natural tonight because get out my black medicine bag right there. Because this morning, I went live with Connie right after our church services, and so I was just tired. I was hungry. Had makeup, a little bit of makeup. Oh, this down in there, you just have to move things around. Down on the bottom, it's in a little box. But
Yes, Miss Susan, I did make this top. I seriously altered the owl shawl pattern and turned it into a shirt.
I
Thought about doing a
beautiful.
tutorial, but after reading several very nasty emails calling me a liar and a cheater and a stealer, I decided, well, I guess I'll just keep it to myself.
Wow.
So,
Oh, I think it's beautiful.
thank you very much.
Yeah.
I really like it.
I wouldn't have called you that. I tell you, but I take my patterns that I make myself, except for the fingerless gloves. Those ones I really did create all by myself. My transformer style ones. But everything else, all my little amigurumis that I create and do things with, it's like I'll see somebody create a body over here, and I think, "Ooh, I like that body." And then somebody else will do a head certain way, and I think, "Ooh, I like that. I wonder what they look like together." So it's from different creators. I take different parts from different creators and put them together, and if they work, wonderful. If not, then I improvise.
That's
But
right.
I never know whether to call it my own or to call it somebody else's. I could put all these links down below and say, check out all these sites. This is where I got my inspiration from. You went back out now? Oh, I like that. Pretty nail polish. Yeah. I was
For
tired.
you guys.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to get up close and personal again.
The entire top. So you can see but this would have been where how the shawl was done, but I did it so that
Alright.
it was
If
completely
you wanted
closed
to
up.
know, it's because I near had a panic attack in Walmart.
And I'm not tiny, but the other thing about making a tutorial is I know how to make it for a girl my size. If you're a lady that is much smaller than me, I can't tell you how to
Yeah, I get more.
change it
It's
where
no big
I
deal.
know
I
for
always get more.
sure it's going to fit you. If you're a lady that is much larger than I am, again, I mean, I can tell you to go up to a 3-weight yarn. If that don't work, try going up to a 4-weight yarn because this is a 2-weight. But I wouldn't be able to be size inclusive for everybody, and I know that that would cause massive issues, not only from things I've read in comments of other people's videos, but of talking to people in the background of doing worn projects. That tends to be a touchy area where people get very upset if you don't make it in their size or tell them exactly how to make it in their size.
All right, now I gotta try to figure out what I'm gonna make next. One FO down. One FO down. One whip down.
Well, thank you for coming by, Miss Sandy. It's wonderful to see you as always, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day with your hubby.
Have a good evening. Or is she the one that's over there in
Australia, yeah.
Australia? Yeah, have a good day. Thank you. Look at me, Juicius. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little easier to make things that are not sized.
Yes, that's why I like shawls.
Anyways.
It's one of the reasons I also like to make hats is because I don't have to worry about whether I'm making one for a big head or a little head. I just make them and then whoever it fits.
Right. Like I have a couple tutorials up, and one of them is a top, but it doesn't get a whole lot of views, and only a few people have made it because I told in the tutorial I don't tell you how many to chain. I tell you measure and do what you need for your size. And for a lot of people, unfortunately, that's too complicated. But I didn't want, because, I'm like my dress form here, for instance. This dress form is the exact size that I have to have if you're talking about the hip measurement, but it is too large if you're talking about the rib measurement. Mm-hmm. I have, a smaller rib cage, but larger bust than this has. I have a larger hip measurement than this has. But if I went up a size, it'd have been way too big for me. Mm-hmm. If I go down a size, it's way too small for me.
At least you know what your sizes are on it.
So it's hard to tell people how to make something to fit them without giving them the instructions on how they need to figure out how to make it to fit them.
Yeah, that's why I wear these shirts that are cut that'll fit me around here, and it's just like let it fall because this area down at the bottom is bigger than the top area, and I like to hide that. So, and then at one point in time, seriously, I weighed over 425 pounds, and so now that I am down below 250, I've got wings and I've got other things that I want to hide because I don't qualify for a cosmetic surgery to fix it all. Right. And so that's why whenever I go to look at things to make it, and that's one of the reasons why I'm having such a hard time deciding on a pattern that I want to make, because I want a tank top for next summer. And so, but I need to find one that I can work out around here, and yet that, like I said, it's kind of like an A-line, kind of like an A-line skirt. Only I want to like an A-line tank top.
Right.
So it's taken a little time for me to figure this out. So, and what's so funny, and I thought this was so kind of cool also at the same time, is I don't wear a lot of coats because coats are uncomfortable for me because they always are too tight around the belly when I try to zip them up. So I wear a Ruana, I think is how you say it. So back when I first started learning how to crochet, and I saw Crystal Bagaudet, in one of her lives, it was, oh goodness gracious, probably a good couple of years ago, if not a little longer. One of the questions I asked her is if she had ever done a Ruana, and her comment was no, nothing haven't done yet, or something like that. And so that was one of my suggestions, because she was asking at the end of the live, what would you suggest I make next? And I put in there, make a Rwanda. And it's so funny, whenever hers came out, I was so thrilled that she took that suggestion, because that was something that I've been wanting, was a new pattern, a crocheted pattern, not because the one I have kind of feels and looks like wool, so it's kind of scratchy. So
Right.
the fact that I now have a pattern that I can crochet is awesome. I love that idea, and I'm so glad she did that.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Miss Susan, yes, I have my tutorials. I think they're in a playlist. I have a sock knitting tutorial. I have a cowl tutorial, or not a cowl, a head bandana tutorial, and the tank top. And I also have a free PDF download through my Facebook group of a Darth Vader blanket for anybody that enjoys Afghans and enjoys Star Wars.
I'm kind of curious. Did you have any time limit tonight as to how long you were going to be on?
No, I just
Okay.
figured, I figured if no one showed up because I didn't say anything to anyone about doing this because I knew if I did, I would chicken out.
Oh, I'll have to check that out, because I know I've seen Angie. So I'll have to check her out and see if she has one on there. No, I was just wondering, because now I'm sitting here thinking, okay, what am I going to crochet next? But I have my other whip over there, which I thought I might just hop over here and get real fast, since I've already hopped up a couple of times anyway. So I'm going to go grab my other whip real fast.
Hello, Miss Faith. It's good to see you tonight. Well, thank you. I hope to see, I would love to see anything that you make following me. Well, let me know, Charlie. I'll come up with you if you want.
That would be too. Oh, is Charlie talking about doing a live?
Yeah.
That would be amazing. I would love to see that. I really would. Okay. Now, this is
I've
the
always
other.
had a great fear of public speaking. Like talking to my girlfriends in a small group, no problem whatsoever. Being in front of a group of people while I know they're looking at me freaks me out.
I know the feeling. That's why I'm not watching the chat. I'm watching my other thing. I'm looking at Bridget. But no, I was just going to show you. This is the other thing I'm making. It's a shawl
Oh, that's pretty.
from Jada and Stitches. But I wanted something to be like a hug. I wanted it to wrap all the way around me like a hug. So I wanted it, and not like a shawlette. So I only had one skein. And so when Melanie from Lethea's Hook, little Melanie or something like that, offered to send me a skein, I was so thrilled. I mean, she literally was such a sweetheart and such a lifesaver. So this is what I'm actually working on right now, my other whip.
Mel is a delightful human being.
She is such a sweetie, and I love her oh goodness gracious, stitch markers. She makes some
Thank you
cute
for
little stitch
stopping in,
markers.
Kim. I hope you get some rest, honey.
Bye. Yeah, I keep thinking I'm missing out on the chat, but whenever I think of the chat and the people watching me, I think, okay, I'm not. It makes me nervous. So hi to everybody that I might have missed.
Chattering a little bit.
Oops, wrong hook, wrong hook, wrong hook. I don't want to use that one. So here we go.
Pretty sure the first time I spun this fiber, I chain plied it, and I think this time I'm going to do a 2-ply and see how it turns out.
I think that looks so pretty. I love those colors. I'm serious. That's, as you can tell, my colors are green and blue. They're my favorite colors. I call it shades of the ocean or shades of the water because I just have such a fascination for the ocean and for the sea. Anything that has those colors in it, I just go crazy over. And emerald green. I love emerald green. Yeah, I was thinking if, because I know a few others that will do a live where all they do is they just sit and crochet and have what they call a quiet time. But my problem with doing a quiet time crocheting is doesn't exactly work for my area because my tripod only goes at 90-degree angles, either straight up or straight sideways. I mean, I could turn it to various angles, but I crochet against my belly. I don't crochet outside of my, like at arm's length. And so I find it's hard for me to find an angle where people can actually see me crocheting. And so I haven't attempted it yet. I also thought about doing a Granny D thing and do a reading, but I thought like reading a story or something, or even just reading some of my own poetry that I've written. But then I think, how many people would be interested in listening to me read?
Well, I think that definitely your own poetry would be very interesting. You have to be careful with reading the books because of copyright.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure how far you have to go back before that's not an issue, but
I would have to find a book that is what they call public domain.
Yeah.
Because because I write poetry, and I'm a graphic artist. I make when you turn on your computer, you have those screensavers, those pictures that pop up there. I do that. I do things like that. So I do a lot of photoshopping, and only I work with a different program than Photoshop. But that's what I do is I create different scenes for people to look at. And so whenever I first started doing it, I had to do a lot of research on copyright because I didn't need I couldn't use images from just any website that I picked up on. I had to use images that were considered free domain or that I got permission to use from the artist, because that's how I first started out back when they had GeoCities and Tripod. Is I would create web pages like this is my dragon page, and this is my unicorn page, and this is my furry page, and before I could display any of the photos, I would contact the artist to say, do you mind if I put them on my page? I'd be honored if you'd let me do this for you. And they always said, that's fine. Just make sure you send a link back to us. So that's how I got started. And so it was something that I've always wanted to, that's how I got interested in that anyway. And then I started thinking, man, especially once I started picking up crocheting again, that's when I got interested in the amigurumi. I wanted to crochet these little critters. I didn't just want to see them or make pictures of them. I wanted to see them and display them on my shelf. The only problem wrong with that thought was once I started crocheting these little critters, my kiddos, my grandkids, and my nieces and nephews would say, ooh, I like that. I want it. And being the good grandma and good aunt I am, I would say, okay, here you go.
Okay, Miss Raven. This is a Lazy Kate. Okay. And on Lazy Kate right now, I have 2 empty bobbins. Once I fill the bobbin up that's on on my wheel, I will fill another bobbin. And then I will ply those two together onto a separate bobbin. Once that is done, and the yarn is now yarn instead of being singles, just singles, I will put that full bobbin onto this Lazy Kate.
Oh,
And then I take my nitty knotty, which is two opposite direction. And then I pull it off the bobbin, right? I will take that yarn and I will wrap over and under and over and under and back over and keep going until all the fiber or all the yarn is off the bobbin. So now you see it's on the nitty knotty, right? So if I take it off the nitty knotty, it is now a circle. And I would take that circle,
oh.
wind it
when-
all up,
Expressed it naked.
and then I would take one end, and as Mr. Pajamas would say, I'm going to feed the duck. Here's the duck. The duck's going to eat it. Pull that through, and then bing, bang, boom, we have a pretty
There
hank.
it is.
And that is how we make a hank. Now you can be fancy like me and have one of these. You can also just take your brake band off your wheel.
So I have
This
a
is a
question.
wonderful tool. It is not 100% necessary, although it does make flying a lot easier.
I have a question for you. Have you ever gone from spinning the yarn to making the hank all in one day before?
Oh yeah.
How long does it take you to do that? To sit down and to spin up a hank of yarn and then to do all that and get it ready like you're going to put it in a giveaway or for sale? How long does it normally take you to do that?
That depends. Do you want a sock weight yarn or do you want a 4-weight yarn?
Oh, okay. Well, I was just thinking in general. I was wondering just how much time it took you to do that.
If you want a 4-weight yarn when it's completed, I can spin that. I can spin both singles and ply the yarn if I'm just BSing with my girlfriends in
Mhm.
about 2.5 to 3 hours.
Wow.
If I'm making a sock weight yarn, about 14 hours.
Whoa, baby.
Because of the amount of fiber that you are pulling.
In
And
the
the
sock weight.
yarn, the finished yarn would weigh the same amount, would still be 4 ounces, 4 ounces.
Yeah, it's just
That
thinner
is the
yarn.
same, but because you're pulling so much less fiber to make the thinner yarn, and it's a little more finicky, it's easier to overspin it and snap it or whatever else,
That's what I thought. Yeah.
you know. But then when it's done spinning and I take it off and I make the hank,
Wow.
then I
That's
have to put it in hot water and let that hot water cool because I can't monkey with the yarn while the hot water is hot,
Mhm.
as you can felt it. Once the water is cooled, I then have to squeeze most of the water out, and then I take it and I put it in a salad spinner and I spin the ever living heck out of it. Trust me, it saves a lot of time. Once I spin the ever living heck out of it, I have a what we used to use back in the day before the heated dryers, a laundry rack that I set inside of my shower. I hang my yarn up and then I take a fan and I blow a fan directly onto my yarn.
I've seen
So
other
I
you do
can
that.
hang my yarn to dry before I go to bed, and by the time I wake up about 4 hours later, my yarn is usually dry and I can use it.
Wow.
If I don't spin it out with the salad spinner and I don't put the fan on it, you're looking at a day's worth of drying time.
That's what I was wondering too. She said, Randy Cat said, couldn't you use the spinner cycle on a washing machine? Just use that kind of a spinner to spin it.
I suppose you probably could. I don't know as if I would trust a machine
Would it end up
with my
felting
yarn.
it possibly?
But I'm very overprotective, and I think it can make a difference if you have a center agitator versus not having the center agitator, because you don't want to get whacked around too much,
Yeah,
and you definitely
exactly.
don't want it to get tangled up on anything. So, I guess that would be up to the crafter if they felt that was something they were willing to do
So
with their
I've
fiber.
never,
For
I've
me, the
never heard
salad.
of I've never heard of a salad spinner. Is that something that's made really for salads, or is it something
Yeah,
that is
I
made
will go
for?
get it.
Oh, okay. Really, yarn isn't shape and work is boring. Yeah, it can be.
Yeah, I literally mean a salad spinner. This is what,
Oh
like
wow.
bougie people, vegetarian people that want to wash all of their veggies off real good, and then you don't want extra water on them. You spin them
Yeah.
out and get some of the water off.
Oh wow. I just put mine in a drainer and shook it really good.
Just clip it down and give her a spin,
Oh.
and then
Well,
the water comes outside of the basket, and then it's got drain holes, so you just dump it out.
that is really cool. Huh.
Like 20 some bucks on Amazon,
I'll have to check that out.
and it saves me days of drying time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do my own yarn, but as far as salads go, that would be awesome to have because I get tired of shaking the strainer.
Right. This is also really good, like if you dabble in dyeing your own yarn, this
Something
works
I want
really
to
well for that.
try. I definitely
Like
want to
if
try
you're a
that.
full-time dyer, of course, you're going to want to get a spin dry, a spinner, what you call an electric one. That's what it does, a spin dryer. But if
Okay.
you're just a hobbyist like myself, I only do this for myself and a few select friends that say, hey, I think it's worth it, because I'll be honest with you, 90% of the time when someone asks me how much my yarn is, I tell them, they say, you're out of your mind. Have a nice day. And that's
Yeah.
okay. Because if they thought about the 14 hours that I put into making the sock weight yarn,
I did. Yeah. You know that.
nobody would tell them their 14 hours at work wasn't worth it.
Yeah, that opens up a whole new understanding for me because I've often wondered about the time that goes into making a skein of yarn, how much time it took. But that also explains a lot to me why I will get a skein of yarn and it'll have two or three little knots in it where they tied the yarn together. you
Yeah.
know,
And well, of course, machines can do it much faster than we can.
yeah, but
But
you don't get the same quality. I don't think.
no, you don't. It's not the same thing. I mean, I'm not downing the factory yarn because I used it. I have a whole room full of it. I wish
Yeah,
I
me
didn't,
too.
but I do.
Yeah, I do too. But I really cherish the yarn that I get from Thress because because she does hand dye her stuff.
Yeah.
So I've got special projects in mind for those.
I sat down and was thinking about it last night. For my birthday in January, I bought myself 2 pounds of fiber. The king bought me 2 pounds of fiber.
Oh,
One of those bags is now gone since January.
was it fiber that you had to dye or was it already dyed?
I dyed it all. I don't get all the awesome colors that like Thriss does or Mama G does, or because I don't use the acid dyes. I
Oh,
choose to use more environmentally safe dyes, only because I have well water. I eat animals that eat from my land. I eat food from my land. I cannot put toxins into the groundwater and then, you know,
Yeah, well, we live in town, and so we have to be careful too. So, do you use like a vinegar for your acid base, or what do you use?
well, what I use is vinegar and food coloring.
See, that's what I want to experiment with.
You don't get all the colors that everyone else gets. One of the yarns I just did for a yarny sister that you guys will see hopefully fairly soon, she wanted purple, teal, and blue.
Ooh,
I got her a purple, but it was more my shade of purple, where what she wanted was this deep, dark Cadbury purple. I got more of a fuchsia type color.
yeah,
Um, so, I mean, that being said, she didn't not like the yarn that I dyed, but I could not get her that Cadbury purple that
yeah.
she
That's not what she was looking for.
because
Yeah,
of using the dyes that I use. That is the one drawback to using the food safe dyes is you're not going to get all the colors that you want to get in the traditional way. Like I sometimes have to dye something and then over dye it to get the color that I wanted the first time.
but when you use the food dye, does it last as long as the acid dyes?
I have not had any yeah, like a magenta purple. I haven't had any issue getting mm,
Your food,
the
your
color to
colors.
stay.
Oh,
Like
okay.
none of my colors have faded.
Yeah, see, that's what I was wondering because I haven't done anything. The only thing I've ever used food dyes for is for decorating cakes or cupcakes.
Let's think
So,
her channel name is Chemnitz. She does an entire series on food safe dyes.
yeah, I was
So if
wondering the
you're
same thing.
interested, I would go over and check her out because she has a lot of really, really good information.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing that Yarny Cat was thinking. I was wondering if the RIT dyes, whether those were acid or what they call safe dyes. Do you know?
Um, the RIT dyes are like using the acid dyes. There's a lot
Okay.
of chemical in them. And it's the same with even the tie dyes. There's a lot of chemical in them, so you need to be careful with disposing of the water and what you anything you use to dye with, any pans you use, any kitchen tools you use, you can no longer cook with those tools or eat
Yeah.
from those tools.
Yeah.
So that's another nice thing about the food safe dyes is if I'm not thinking and because I have an extremely bad memory because of my health issues, if I just grab a tong and flip the yarn over or flip the fiber over and then wash it and then what tongs did I use?
Yeah. Yeah. See,
I
that's
don't
what I
have
was
to
wondering
worry
because
about that.
I remember when we dyed something in the washing machine and it took forever to get that dye out. It took forever. And so we learned the hard way that we're going to dye something to dye it in a bucket that we don't use on a normal, everyday, daily basis.
Yeah.
Um, and we were just doing tie dye t shirts.
Those are fun to do.
Yeah, they were. They were. And I did
I,
it as a family thing.
I can show you. This is the purple that I got. Matter of fact, it's actually showing more purple than it actually is.
That is so pretty.
Let's see.
I
There
love
we
that. And
go.
that green, or I'm not sure if it's the blue or the green I'm seeing, but that is like beautiful.
Yeah, I did. She
Yeah, the
purchased one
teal
tank
color.
and she doesn't know it, but she's receiving two.
That's cool. Yeah, that teal, that's what comes kind of comes across my camera. It looks like a teal color. That is like
Hmm.
my favorite color. I love that. I sit and drool over yarn.
Yarn is a completely separate hobby from knitting, crocheting, or spinning.
Yeah. But I love all the things I can do with it. It's so versatile, and it's like I can just sit here and let my mind drift. A lot of times, when I'm crocheting, I will listen to people on the not to start play, like set up a playlist and listen to them, or I listen to Granny D read, or I'll just turn on my music depending on what my mood is, and I could just zone out. And by the time I realize what time it is, as the days gone by.
Right.
Okay, well, this has been really, really fun. And I've really enjoyed doing this with you. But my phone is saying that it's going into low power mode. So I guess I'm going to have to say goodbye and step down. Go plug in my phone before it dies on me.
Well, thank you for coming up and joining me. It was lovely to sit and chat with you.
It has it. I've enjoyed this. Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it. So bye,
And
everybody. I am probably going to go back to just listening in on the chat. So I will see you all down there.
mm-hmm.
Now let me see if I can figure out how to close out of this on my phone without. I think that's a share button. What's this button do?
Here, I can. There we go. Well, thank you very, very much. I enjoyed having you up, Miss Vicky. And if anybody is like if you're needing some one-on-one help from me, or you just want to have a sit and craft kind of night, I do have Discord. And if you don't know what Discord is, it is a thing that a lot of times gamers use, but a few of our YouTube friends have it, and you can chat over there, and you can also do video messaging. I was thinking about doing something over on my Discord, doing like a once a week spin night for some of my friends that also spin. And we could also do crochet nights, we could do knit nights, we could just do a general craft night. Basically, there's all kinds of options. If anybody does uh, want to get a hold of me over there, just drop me a message and I will send you the link to my Discord. I had never even heard of it until a few months ago when another Yarny sister said, hey, you need to come over here and we can hang out and stuff like that. And now we have a weekly craft night. I'm not sure, Crystal. I don't think I have you on mine, but that doesn't mean that you're not on there. I'll just have to, I can send you the link to my Discord so that you can find me directly. Ollie's Crochet Creations by Tori. So are you Tori then? And hello and welcome in. Thank you for joining. Don't believe that I have seen your name before, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are new to the channel because my memory is horrible. All right, Miss Vicky, well, just give me a buzz, and I will send you the link so you can find me once you get yours situated. I'm probably not going to stay a whole lot longer. We have been here for about an hour and a half, and I know Mishi came on about an hour ago. Pretty sure that's where mostly everybody's at tonight. Mishi's a really great lady, and she's teaching us all how to speak a couple German words. I know a few German words. I spent a little bit of time living in Germany when I was a child. And hopefully, Charlie said she will be going live tonight. So you guys keep an eye out for Bixby's Legends. She has popped in and out here tonight. So hopefully you guys will join her over there. Charlie is a hoot, especially when she's drinking her adult apple juice. Well, thank you, Miss Crystal. I hope one of these days we get a chance to spin together. I would love to talk to you about the wheel and stuff like that. I would love to learn more about how you came up with the how you put it all together and everything. One of my wheels is more like a homemade style type wheel. Unfortunately, her and I don't get along very well. She's a real ogre. I see you peeking, Charlie. Well, I suppose everybody, I'm going to hop on out of here so I can catch up with the king for a few minutes and get myself something to drink. I ran out of coffee, so, that's an issue. Got to have the coffee. Something has to power all this wonderful. Thank you for coming, Miss Angela. And thank you all for being here. I have enjoyed chatting with you. Sorry, I'm a little bit awkward. I will get better at this as time goes on, I'm sure. You know, growing pains. And thank you, Miss Vicky, for coming up and keeping me company and making this a little less of a nerve-wracking experience. All right. Until next time, everybody, I truly hope that you are crafting your happiness. Bye for now.